another Tech Code video, guys. We're gonna be looking at the technology and kind of behind what is in Watch Dogs 3 Legions, the technology behind it and everything else behind it. So guys, before we go ahead and get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and also appreciate you guys checking this out. As you know, we're only a few months away from this game release, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about the technology behind it and what makes this game special than all the previous Watch Dogs and kind of basic any other RPGs out there right now. I want y'all to understand that. So here's the technology that's kind of in Watch Dogs Legions. Okay, technology is pretty much an AI system that they have put in place in the engine. So here's pretty much this what's going to happen. So when you look at different NPCs throughout the game, you can talk to them and interact with them. So the AI, what's going to happen? Each AI has a basic subsystem program, and every time you approach an NPC, the AI decides to add a storyline to the NPC once you instigate with it. Before that, it's just a basic program that's just running and is interacting with other NPCs throughout the map. During that time, once you start to interact with that NPC will start to develop a storyline to it quickly by using AI. The AI would develop a quick story centered around it and use some of the audio tracks that would have been pre-recorded by different actors. They brought in, a couple of thousand people to do voice recording, so every single NPC is interactable. First time a game is technically living because you can interact with anything and anything is a possibility. That being said, you can have anyone join your squad or be denied access to your squad. As well, anybody can die in the game. So meaning, the storyline is your choice. So if you get a kill, that character is dead for the whole entire story because you got him killed. You can have an old grandma to a kid be on your team. There's also some faults with that because the grandma actually, if you were to pick her as one of your members, that's the case that her grandma might not be as strong as for combat, but she can stick it out easily with all the guards because people don't expect her to be a bad guy. So there's some possibilities and some also faults with that you're gonna have to take a look at. But that's just kind of how the game works. But as for the engine, though, the engine is pretty much all AI, kind of leaving it up to you how you want to handle things. That being said, nothing's going to be repetitive at all. They already stated that the AI is going to develop a new storyline for every single NPC you interact with. You can develop friendships, you can develop enemies, whatever you want to do depending on how you interact with them. And the more you get killed off, the more you will lose the game if you kill off your whole entire team. So, meaning you have to spend a lot of time recruiting people. It's not like I can hit a button and on your team. You have to develop a relationship with these people. It's going to take some time. So you have to spend the time building a strong team before I would even bet, kind of do some big missions, because if you have a small team and everyone gets killed within the first 10 minutes of you playing it, well, you're kind of screwed. So I would recommend you spend a lot of time in developing teammates. Also, so as for so the AI program I think is really cool, and the amount of time they put into having to record on NPCs. It's kind of the first time this AI system has been in place in the game. I think it's going to be in Cyberpunk 2 as well, but we're going to look more into that. That's a little bit more AI engine. But anyway, I'm going to put a clip from how BBC actually did an interview within the game, and we're going to hear a little bit from that just recently that this got released. Alright, I'm going to have this play for y'all.
I'm not even real. This is a virtual version of me reporting from inside a video game.
London. Had a good run there for a while.
Watch Dogs Legion imagines a dystopian vision of a post-Brexit Britain, a surveillance state governed by an oppressive regime. The player assumes the role of an activist and hacker who must recruit in-game characters to their cause and ultimately bring down the government.
We need to recruit a resistance.
Legion's the third installment in the popular franchise, developed by video games company Ubisoft in its Toronto studio.
We're taking a lot of just influence from what we see in the world. Whether it's the current political climate, whether it's emerging technology, we find ways that we're inspired by those things, ways that we're maybe a little bit afraid of these things, and then we extrapolate out.
A large area of London has been mapped for the game, and every character that you meet is playable, their backstory and personality as well as characteristics filled in by the game's artificial intelligence when the player approaches them.
any character that you see in the world, they're kind of, I guess they're kind of like a level of dumbness, right? And then as you're paying attention to the characters, they get smarter. As you're profiling them and as you're getting more interested in them and as you decide to recruit them, we layer in more complexity into the character, but we always keep it consistent with what you initially saw.
Technically interesting innovations, but is it asking for trouble using real-world events like Brexit in a game?
The British people have spoken, and the answer is we're out.
I want to put that to the game's creative director, Clint Hocking, but for this interview, we're going to attempt something which has never been done before. I'm going to perform an interview with a developer of a game inside their own video game. In order for my 3D model to be created, they're going to need a whole bunch of images of me, which is what's going to happen in here. To do this, every minute detail of my face and body needs to be scanned so I can appear as a game character. And 3, 2, 1. That was great. It's not like the Photo Me booth at the railway station.
Yeah. Real big.
Sorry.
It's incredible how little we use our face like that, right?
Next, it's on with the performance capture suit, marker dots.
You just went over kind of which was kind of the basics, and so that's another cool thing I want to look at. So about them using real world events within the video game. So Brexit, I don't know if you have been living under a rock for the past few months now. Your UN is the the UK is going to be leaving the UN, whatever. They're putting in real world events into the storyline in Watch Dogs 3. I don't understand how they're doing this because the storyline in Watch Dogs 3 is pretty much Nazi Germany. But the thing is that I don't get how they're putting. You know, I have to admit though, that's kind of cool how the NPCs are not interacting with them. They're just walking around in an NPC build. That is so strange. But anyway, yeah, I don't understand how they're gonna put in real world events when. How can you have the UN when all this mess is going on? That makes like zero sense. But they could say it to justify that's the reason why you live in the UN because the UK is turning to Nazi Germany and they don't have nothing to do with nobody. So yeah, that could be. But you know, we're gonna leave the storyline up to all that. Yeah, so I want you guys to leave y'all thoughts in the comments and tell me what y'all think. And yeah, we'll be back on that. And I just want to say, yeah, it's this game is gonna be completely optional, especially this new technology being put in place. And I'm looking good forward to it. But yeah, just leave in the comments and just tell me what you think. And yeah, y'all have an awesome rest of y'all week. And thanks for watching another TechCo video. And y'all have an amazing afternoon.
Have you included any more of those events in the game itself?
Well, Mark, things are changing around us all the time and every day.
Yeah, I like to make beats.